Hey everybody, this is Brian.
Jason.
And this is Perfectly Screwed Podcast, episode 56. Ladies and gentlemen, hello.
Damn, 56?
56. We're getting there. We're getting up there. Real soon, you'll be amazed. We'll be like, oh, this is episode 110.
Episode 11,217.
Jesus. Look, I've done put a limit on it. If we're at episode like 300 and we still only have 100 people listening, I'm done. I'm done.
300's the max out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time from now.
Yeah, that's like 2 years from now. I don't know, man. Every week we grow. We had 52 last week, which was really a record for us. We've never hit over 120, and we had 152 last week listening to the episode. We're at 107 as of today for our last episode, so that means the moment I dropped it this morning, 107 people decided they wanted to listen to us. I haven't checked it since then, so I'm sure it's up there in the 152s now.
We need like 10,000 more.
Yeah, that's all we need. Then we could do this full time.
It's really not that much.
No.
Honestly, when you think about it.
But yeah, then we can do this full time, and I never have to work again. You never have to work again. Yeah. Hey, we made $10. We've almost made $10.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be lovely.
Because
then
tired.
No, because then
real tired of going in.
No, because then the work still proceeds. It's just a different type of work. It's work we more enjoy, but it's still work. I mean, we would have to do live shows. We'd have to tour. We'd have to do all of that shit. So, it would just be a different type of employment. Yeah. But it'd still be employment. So you're tired of going in, huh? Are they killing you?
Yeah, I'm just fucking tired of it.
Well, no one knows. I've got a new job, so see... I love my new job, so I'm not really that worried about it, really,
Yeah, it's new. It's fresh.
I did it before, though, so I already know what I'm doing. So it's not really that new, really. There's nothing changed about it whatsoever from when I used to do it. It's just a lot easier than the job you do. Your job sucks hot cock, where mine just kind of licks it.
It all ends up sucking hot cock. That's the point. It all ends up being bullshit.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you take the one that's the least amount of bullshit, I find. The place you work is a lot of bullshit. No. Okay, it's a lot of bullshit. And, speaking of, did you hear about the guy that was working there? I'm not going to say his name because it's fucking rude, but I guess he wanted to quit, right? And he worked in Nons. And, like, last week he came in stone cold hammered drunk, dog.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah, he got drunk as shit.
Yeah.
Dude, he was walking around hiding supervisors' radios, hiding headsets, telling the supervisor to suck his dick. That's great,
dude,
bro.
That's funny.
Hey, if you're going to get fired, you might as well go out with a bang, bro.
Well, it's literally what you have to do to get fired.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he didn't want to, basically, he didn't want to work there anymore. He was sick of their shit, and he said, I'm going to go out with the biggest bang I can. I'm just going to get hammered fucking drunk. I'm going to come in here and act like a fucking fool.
Yeah, I don't know who it was. But
I know.
Somebody.
I know.
Like, they walked some dude out in Nons. He was drunk.
Oh, yeah, he was drunker than shit, they said. But see, the thing is, they couldn't prove he was drunk because they asked him to take a breathalyzer. And I guess the dude refused, which is the greatest part about that because now they can't prove he was drunk. So now they can't deny his unemployment either.
Right.
Because all you got fired for really was denying a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't get walked out for being drunk. You got walked out because you refused to take a test. So it's much better. You know, I wanted to... Before we get into the main story, I want to talk about old Roe versus Wade. You heard about this, right?
So,
that they overturned it?
I can't, what? So what was it originally?
What was Roe versus Wade originally?
Yeah.
Well, they based it on the right to privacy laws, Fourth Amendment, and it gave the right to all women to have abortions without the states making laws against it. So as of now, the states can make laws against abortions, which in Indiana that we live in will. And many other states have already done it. But I don't really have an opinion too much because I'm a guy, and I try not to get into that opinion because it really doesn't affect me as being a dude. So, but I believe women have I think everybody in America should have the right to choose whatever they want personally for themselves. Me personally, I'm not pro-abortion. I don't believe abortion. I don't believe you should be able to have an abortion, or I don't believe you should have an abortion. But again, I believe in the right to choose, so therefore I believe every choice is up to you. It shouldn't be up to the government at all. So,
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. And, I mean,
although
there's going to be, unfortunately, women are going to get pregnant because they got raped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to stop that.
Correct. And incest, same thing.
Yeah. And so, if a girl is raped and ends up pregnant because of it, why should she? She absolutely should have the right to an abortion.
Well, yeah.
Whereas if a girl willingly has sex with a man, he is not wearing a condom, and she's not on birth control, and he busts up inside her, and she gets pregnant, I don't think she should be able to have an abortion.
Well, see, and again, though, but that falls under what I said.
That's reckless.
But like I said, that falls under choice.
Of course.
But yeah, I believe that everybody has a choice in this country, and the government shouldn't be involved in your choices. So I leave that choice up to whoever makes the choice. Whether you agree with it or not,
well,
if you're going to have freedoms, you have to give everybody the choice to make their own decisions.
For me, when you look around now,
plus there's too many kids out there anyway.
There's just so many broken homes, man.
Exactly.
There's just so many kids that are being born into unfortunate situations, and they're being born into unfortunate situations because people just fucking willy-nilly have sex. They think it's a fucking game,
and if you
and
force
it ain't a
them,
fucking game. And if you make them have to have a baby,
right,
then eventually you're going to change the mindset.
Yeah,
which has to be done somehow, some way.
Well, it should be, yes.
But again, you're on a slippery slope because, like I said, if a woman is freaking raped and gets pregnant and doesn't want a baby, she should not have to have that baby. But then now you're opening the door to still free willy-nilly sex people getting pregnant and just saying they were raped.
But where does it stop?
Exactly.
If you take that right away,
yeah.
I mean, you could go fight other rights. Like Clarence Thomas is talking about, we need to go look at contraception, and we need to look at the legal rights for gay marriage and this and that. And this is the point. You start taking these rights away, and abortion's one thing, but you start taking gay marriage away and gay sex rights away and the rights of people away to get birth control, and you're going to start having riots, man. I mean, you're not just playing with one little thing. You're going to have people in the street fucking rioting. Someone's going to eventually take your ass out, dog.
No, you're right. It reminds me of there's like a speech on YouTube by Jordan Peterson. It's called it's his finest moment or something. It says that's the heading.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he talks about oppression, and you can't go all the way down to every individual and fix everything that they're oppressed for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because A, you just can't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then B, it's who gets to decide?
Right.
And he's like,
right.
That's the thing.
Right.
Who gets to decide?
Right. But I mean, if they start taking people's rights away that are guaranteed under Supreme Court rulings, like gay marriage and stuff like that, you're going to have riots in the streets. You're going to have people just getting severely irate.
Yeah.
I mean, to me...
That's what you got anyway, man.
I mean,
What you got?
to me, it doesn't matter one way or the other. I mean, I'm an overprivileged white male, so
Right.
to me, you know, you can. I mean, you take all these
Well-
rights away. None of these rights really affect me personally. I mean, not at all, because the Constitution was written by overprivileged white men. And so,
Like, I'm with you. I'm with you. Absolutely. Everybody should have their own choice.
Right.
I would just say.
Well, I don't think
I
the
would
government-
I would just say we need to start making better choices. And you know what I'm saying? And I guess my thing is, as a woman, if the thought of you being pregnant means you're going to get an abortion, if that's in your mind, then why would you not take every precautionary measure to not get pregnant?
well, yeah, and nowadays
That's
it's
all I'm
so
saying.
easy not to get
Right.
pregnant.
There's so many
I mean-
methods. Right.
Yeah, there's condoms, there's birth control,
Right.
there's tons of stuff.
Right.
I mean, there's ways to stop it.
100%.
If you're too irresponsible to slap on a condom before you're having sex, first of all, you get STDs. That's irresponsible to start with. Because let's not even talk about pregnancy. Let's talk about herpes and gonorrhea and AIDS and everything else you can get
Right.
by having unprotected sex with a chick you barely know.
Because I just, I'm a male perspective, honest. I mean, I can't get fucking pregnant. I understand that. But from my perspective, if you have a fucking child inside of you and you get an abortion, that's murder.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to fucking look at it.
But see, from
And then I can't imagine being the woman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like it's horrifying from my perspective. I can't imagine being that person.
I wouldn't want to have to make the choice.
Right.
But see, from a male perspective, and I've had sex with a lot, and I do mean a lot of women in my 44 years that I've been alive. But I also didn't get that many women pregnant because I know what a condom is. I know how to use them. And, you know, that's the point. From a male perspective, I'm using a condom to protect myself. It's not about getting you pregnant. It's about the fact that I might get something that I don't want. Okay?
Right.
I don't want it to piss when I burn. Or burn when I piss.
Right.
Let me say it right. You know, and that's just from my perspective. Herpes doesn't go away, motherfucker.
Right.
It's life. You know, and once you get it, you're fucked.
But see, like, to me, the mindset also should be, if you get pregnant, that's also life.
Mm-hmm.
Because that literally is life.
But then you ask, when does life
That
begin?
literally is the process that creates fucking life.
Oh, yeah. But then you gotta ask.
And we walk around, bro. Think about it. We walk around like it is nothing. Like it's just a fucking literal game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no big deal. You know what I mean? There's fucking 11, 12-year-old girls that get pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's why...
That's a fucking problem.
That's why contraception should be taught way younger than it is.
It's why yes. Yes, absolutely. It's why education on sex should be taught way younger.
Oh, yeah. They should start, as far as I'm concerned, in elementary school. Start teaching them, hey,
It
yo.
should be young.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here's a condom, and here's why you probably shouldn't have sex until you're older.
Because trying to protect kids from it doesn't work.
No, not at all.
We're obviously seeing that doesn't work.
Correct, yeah. And with the culture nowadays, with the availability of porn and things that you can see on the internet and other things, I mean, you're not going to stop them from seeing it. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was 12, I damn sure was still in Playboy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. If I'd had access to Pornhub,
Absolutely.
all bets would have been off.
100%.
I don't think I would have ever left the bathroom
Well,
if I had access to Pornhub.
I've said this before, dude. In fucking 5th grade, when they showed the fucking sex video, like, bro, you get the fucking 5th degree, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they are dead fucking serious.
Right.
If you goddamn laugh, if you fucking laugh, I'll blow your goddamn brain. I mean, it's like that serious.
Yeah.
I'll blow your fucking head off.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't pay attention one bit to the fucking video.
No.
The goddamn thing zoomed down and zoomed in on a fucking cock and balls.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm fucking almost 40.
Yeah.
It's funny now. It was funny then. And it will always fucking be funny. A dick is funny looking. That's a fucking funny image.
Oh.
Period.
And then they had to show us an uncircumcised one,
So,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the greatest thing.
So, I'm not getting any education, bro. I'm literally, for what, an hour, however long this video is, what I'm trying to do
Is not to laugh.
is not laugh.
Yeah.
And it was so hard. It was the hardest goddamn thing I've
And
ever
then
did
these
because
dumb
I was
fuckers-
laughing.
And I'll never forget that when they showed us how to use a condom, they gave us a banana, and I'm thinking, damn, dude, is that what it is when you grow up? They lied to me.
nobody
Jason.
showed us that.
They lied to me. They made me think that my dick was going to grow to banana size.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's barely a pickle. But we're not talking about sex and dick today, ladies and gentlemen. We're 15 minutes in, and all we've been talking about is abortion and dick. Okay. Now, what we're talking about...
Blade, baby.
Oh, my God. What we're talking about is the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas. Now, the Driscoll is a Romanesque... I'm going to fuck up. I know I am. Especially because I'm tired, and it's verily... What? Do we have a cat coming back?
There's
in?
something back.
It is a cat. Oh my God! Which one is this? We have a cat coming back in the room. I think. Is it this? How the fuck? It could not be the same cat, could it? Oh no, that's the other one. That's the big fat one. He'll leave us alone though. He's a good kitty. But anyways, so the Driscoll is a Romanesque style building completed in 1886. It is the oldest operating hotel. It still operates, by the way, in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I just looked at it. It looks fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. Well, it's went through a lot of changes over the years. In the 70s, they redid it in 70s style, and a lot of people have owned this. But it's also one of the best-known hotels. It was built and conceived by Colonel Jesse Driscoll. He was a cattleman who spent his fortune constructing the finest hotel south of St. Louis. Now, it's interesting about Colonel Driscoll, Jesse. He made his money. He lived in Missouri, which, if I'm wrong, now, I don't know if I'm right or not. And Missouri was not part of the Confederacy, correct? It was part of the northern states, right? Or was it part of the Confederate Army?
Missouri?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, look that up real quick. But he made his money selling cattle to the Confederacy. Made a lot of money. He was the number one beef producer for the Confederate Army. And this is where he got all his money. And then he went over to Texas and built this huge-ass hotel in Austin. It's located at 604 Brazos Street in Austin, Texas. It was built in 1886.
Acting on the ordinance passed by the Jackson government, the Confederate Congress admitted Missouri as the 12th Confederate state on November 28, 1861.
Oh, so Missouri was part of the Confederacy. See, well, at least he was honoring his own state then. I mean, at least he wasn't a Yankee trying to sell shit to the Confederate Army. At least he was part of the Confederacy.
Right.
But he moved to Texas from Missouri in 1849. He supplied beef throughout the Civil War. He decided to diversify by constructing this grand hotel in Austin in 1884. He purchased the land at the corner of 6th and Brazo, and we need to stop for a second on that, because 6th and Brazo, interestingly enough, before this hotel was ever built, before Austin was ever there, before Texas was ever a state, the American Indians that lived there, but there was a spring, a natural spring at this exact location. And it was not only a spring, but the Native Americans said it was a holy place where they would go and actually worship and hear the spirits of their forefathers. So this place was a holy, sanctified ground.
A ritualistic.
Yeah, it's where the American Indians would perform rituals to contact their ancient relatives. So he built basically a hotel right on a sacred Indian burial ground site, or a sacred Indian religious site, Which, as we know from every horror movie ever made, that's a bad idea.
It's not going to end well.
No, it never does. It never does. I mean, look at Poltergeist, for God's sakes. You know, when you start constructing things on ancient Indian tribal ritual sites, yeah, normally the spirits don't like it. Yeah,
and if for no other reason, and if you don't believe in any of that Indian ritual stuff, if for no other reason, you're gonna get your shit's gonna have bad karma.
Yeah,
because you're a goddamn dickhead.
Right.
Because there's so much more. Look at all this room.
Right.
We got so much space.
Right.
So much room, bub. You don't need to build your goddamn grand hotel right here.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to talk to grandma and grandpa.
Right.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Well, see, from the very beginning, this hotel had problems. He opened
Of course.
it. Yeah, he opened it in May of 1887, and he was broke less than a year later. Less than a year later, this dude went under and had to sell the hotel because he just lost all his money within a year of building this thing. I mean, just completely went under.
What an idiot.
Yeah, so he was forced to close the hotel less than a year after he opened it because he could no longer afford to operate the hotel because of all of a sudden, for some reason, even though he was really successful all these years during the Confederacy with his cattle farm, his cows started dying off mysteriously. There was a really harsh winter all of a sudden, and he lost all of his cattle inventory all within 6-8 months of opening this hotel. Ooh. So the moment he opens it, bad luck starts happening to this.
Right.
I mean, really bad things, and he lost the whole cattle inventory. So the hotel's general manager and half the staff were hired by the Beach Hotel in Galveston after it closed. He sold the hotel in 1888 to his brother-in-law, Jim Doc Day, and he opened the hotel back up in January of 1888. Now, it's changed hands over the years. Littlefield, a guy named Littlefield bought it in 1895.
It's really kind of amazing, though, that this dude builds it a fucking year later, goes under, has to sell the motherfucker. This is 100 and... How many? I mean, 135 fucking years ago? And it's still running?
Oh, yeah, it's
That's
still
nuts,
running.
man.
I know. Well, what's funny is the next guy who bought it in 1888, he didn't even leave it open 10 years. It was open 9 more years, and he had to sell it because he went broke also. And the funny part is people say that this hotel was booked solid, so why were these people keep losing money on this hotel?
Right.
But they did. And he sold it to a guy named Littlefield, and Littlefield in 1895 vowed it would never close again, which he was crazy because it did. But he had to spend another $60,000 in renovations. He put in electric lights and steam heating, 28 additional lavatories, and he still sold the hotel in 1903, which was not even 10 years later, again for a loss of $25,000. So it's like every person who buys this hotel starts losing money on it, and then they got to sell it within a very short time after getting it. You know what I'm saying? So a guy named Wilmot bought the hotel from him. He had a barber shop, some Turkish baths, frame mirrors, stuff of that. And actually, Wilmot kept it for a little while, because in 1950, Wilmot still owned it. And another interesting thing, in 52, KTBC set up a television studio in the hotel, and it was the first television studio in Texas.
Really?
Yep, first one. Now, in 69, they had to close it again. they closed it because they were running out of money again.
Was that back in the summer of '69?
Yeah, in the summer of '69. But they closed it again, and most of its furnishings and everything was sold.
Banging on your mama's porch. Oh, shit.
And they thought they were going to have to tear it down. But then a Driscoll Hotel Corporation raised some funds from around the city, and they raised $900,000 to keep it open.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, aside from the fact that this hotel was built right on top of a fucking place you shouldn't build it on, what other incidences make it haunted?
Well, first of all, let me tell you about this hotel. It's interesting. Louis Armstrong stayed there. Lyndon Johnson, the president, stayed there.
Really?
Yeah. Daughters of the Texas Republic were there for a little while.
Lyndon probably posted up right after JFK got shot. You know what I mean? He needed a little Turkish bath. Wipe the fucking stink off of him.
Well, Lyndon Johnson actually watched the 1964 presidential election at the hotel to see if he won or not. He was actually holding his whole party at this hotel.
No shit.
Yeah. Bill Clinton stayed there in '99. Jenna Bush, daughter of President Bush in 2001, relocated by the Secret Service to the hotel. And Bill Murray and Jan Volger have all stayed at this hotel. But what makes it haunted? A lot of things, actually, interestingly, about this hotel makes it haunted. Again, some of the weird things. One of Stephen King's books, The Shining. In the book, it's room 217. In Kubrick's film, it was room 237. But they both based it on a story from this hotel. So in the there's actually two interesting stories about this same room, and the room in the hotel is 525. The first one was a woman, and it's interesting because both of these happened in the same room. In the 1800s, there's actual, this is a story, of course, you know, there's nothing, they have very sparse historical records of this, but in the 1800s, a woman stayed at the hotel when it was first opened in the late 1800s, 1886 or so, before it was closed, when Colonel Jesse still owned the hotel.
Right.
She was there with her fiance. They got into a fight. He left her there, broke off the marriage. She ended up jumping out of that window of 525 and killing herself at the hotel. And people that have stayed at 525 have seen her in Victorian dress still at the hotel.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, she's the first one. Now, same room. Okay. In the late 80s, early 90s, there was another one. Now, her fiance, she was about to get married. He left her at the altar. Okay. So she thought it was a good idea to take his fucking credit card and give him a big fuck off and fuck you. So she went down to Austin, Texas and used his credit card to have herself a gangbuster weekend before everything went south. So interestingly enough, she was back in the exact same room of 525 where this earlier bride had killed herself.
Right.
From all accounts, this woman went on a huge shopping spree, bought herself a bunch of nice shit, ate at a real nice restaurant, spent his credit card at the hotel, got room 525. Then she went down to the bar, got smashed ass drunk. Drunk as you can fucking get, dude. And then she went and bought a brand new gun, a brand new pistol, went back up to the hotel room, drunk as hell, took a pillow from the bed, laid in the bathtub, put the pillow over her stomach to muffle the sounds, and then took the gun and shot herself in the stomach and killed herself.
In the stomach.
In the stomach. Yeah.
So she would have laid there and bled out.
Yeah.
In intense pain.
Yeah, in intense pain.
She probably passed out because she was so drunk.
Dude, look, it was 3 days later that the maid coming in to check on the room because she hung a do not disturb sign outside. So for a couple days, they didn't even check on the room. Well, it was like 3 days later that nobody ever seen her check out or, anything like that. So they sent the maid up there to figure out what was going on. So the maid went in the room. That's when they found her body. It was 3 days after she had killed herself.
Man.
She'd been in the tub for 3 days. And they found her in the tub. Well, people still see both of these women walking through 525.
Man, that's crazy.
They'll see the one woman from the late 80s, early 90s. People have witnessed her coming from the bar late at night, walking out of the bar. They'll see a woman walking up the stairs, walking towards room 525. She'll go through the wall and just disappear.
No shit.
Yeah. And more than one guest has
I wonder
seen
if
this
the
one.
movie 1408 got any of its ideas from the Driscoll.
Oh, I'm sure it did,
I'm thinking it did too.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Now, the other one, which is interesting, is the senator's daughter. In the early 1900s, Austin did not have a place for the Senate to meet. So they decided to meet at the Driscoll. So there was a young 9-year-old girl, and she was there. She was one of the senator's daughters. And she was playing with her ball at the top of the staircase in the lobby. Because when you walk in, there's a huge staircase, big grand staircase and stuff. So she was playing at the top of these stairs with her ball.
I wish hotels still had that, man.
Oh, the big grand staircase? Some of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. But yeah, you're right.
The newer
the newer ones just are...
chain hotels.
Yeah, they're all...
It's a fucking lobby and an elevator.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn. Give me something to look at.
You get some donuts.
Have some fucking creativity.
You get some bagels in the morning, damn it. If it's a really fine hotel, they'll make you a nice continental breakfast to go with some eggs, some sausage, bacon. Yeah, but you're right. They're also modern. That what you got as soon as you walk into hotels now, normally, front desk, they all look the same, neutral colors. Got a little breakfast bar area over to the side, and then you turn and there's the elevator.
Well, there's no grand staircase.
No, there's no grand staircase, no chandeliers anymore, no beautiful frescoes. But I mean, you got to think about it. It's about money. They're doing it to push out as many hotels as they can.
Yep.
They're not trying to, make it grand anymore because, you're going to get the same price for a room whether make it grand or not.
True.
Right. Although the one we stayed at the Story Inn, that was a pretty nice little bed and breakfast. The room was very old style, very nice.
Well, you have to get old style if you want grand staircases. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they knew how to treat people back then. They knew how to make it look nice.
Well, yeah, and it was and it was like it was an event, man. It was a big deal. You know what I mean? To go stay there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, nowadays it's just some business guy that's staying there for the night because he's got business. He's going to be gone the next day. He don't care. He just wants
or you're traveling.
Right,
you know what I mean?
You just want a bed. Yeah, you want a bed and an air conditioner. That's what you want. Maybe a TV.
True. It's true.
Yeah. You could care less if it's got a motel and a ballroom and, chandeliers and...
Yeah. A couple weeks ago when I went up to Fargo, we just stayed at Holiday Inns, and actually they're fucking really nice.
Oh, yeah, Holiday Inns are beautiful.
Because like you said, they got the free breakfast in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they hook you up, too, at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, they got like... The one we stayed out in Fargo was legit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had good scrambled eggs. They had omelets.
Oh yeah, they make you omelets. They do in
bagels.
Marion too. Like if you stay at the one in Marion right here.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning. They make you omelets. They have bacon, sausage, pancakes, all kinds of shit.
Yep.
It's like a breakfast buffet. You can go up there as much as you want. They have biscuits and gravy. They hook you up.
Yeah, that's legit.
But anyways, back to the senator's daughter. So she was at the top of the stairs playing with this ball. And she happened to bounce it, and it went to bounce off the stairs and down the stairs. Well, she went to grab it, being young. And when she did, she missed the ball completely, tumbled down the stairs, and broke her neck. She died at the bottom of the staircase. So,
wow.
Yeah. Well, it's like Edgar Allan Poe once said, of all melancholy topics, the death of a beautiful woman and a child is unquestionably the most poetic topic in the world. But her name was Samantha Houston. She tripped and fell down the stairs to her death on the Driscoll's main grand staircase. Since then, guests have heard giggling. They've heard bouncing of the ball up and down the staircase. They've also, a few guests have seen the ball bouncing down the staircase. And again, this is where Stephen King took it and made The Shining. Because remember that scene in The Shining where the ball is bouncing down the hallway? Right. Yeah, it's based on this legend from this girl that died at the Driscoll. But yes, they've seen the ball. They've seen the girl. Many people have said that late at night you can hear her playing on the stairs. So yeah, this girl died right there on the staircase. Now there's another ghost, and they don't know where he came from, really. But a lot of famous people, interestingly enough, have seen this ghost. Annie Lennox says she's seen this ghost. Let's see, who else? Oh yeah, Jeanette. No, how do you say her name? No, Jeanette Napolitano of the Concrete Blondes. You remember Concrete Blondes?
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah, not gonna work here anymore. But she also has seen this guy, and it's a guy dressed in late 1800s, early 1900s cowboy outfit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Possibly Jesse.
No, they don't think it's Jesse because people have seen Jesse too.
Really?
Yeah, Jesse dresses like you would imagine. Very, like very rich, and they smell cigar smoke, and they see Jesse walking around.
Wasn't he like a cattle baron before them, though? Mm-hmm.
But this guy's a younger guy.
Okay.
But this guy is seen to be smoking a cigar. He's a younger guy, skinny. They don't know where he came from or why he's at the Driscoll. But this ghost will stand in the hallway. And what he does is he sees these female rock stars. Annie Lennox said she had selected a stage outfit. And while she was showering, right, because she knew she laid it all out in the bathroom, she got out of the shower, and it was hanging back in the closet. Then she said another night she was doing the same thing, and she made sure this time her outfit was right outside the shower. And then it was on the bed. And she said every time she would hear like mild male laughing and smell the cigar smoke. And she said once she saw like a cowboy walking out of her room when this was happening.
What if it really isn't a ghost?
It's just some dude dressed as a cowboy and knows the secret passageway, still in her clothes and shit.
Peeping in there and seeing Annie Lennox naked in the shower and then moving her fucking dress. And I mean, it's brilliant because you'd be like, "It's a fucking ghost. I seen a fucking ghost." You're damn right you did, bitch.
She opens the shower. There was a cowboy just jerking off, smoking a cigar right in the bathroom. They just disappeared.
Hottest place I've ever fucking seen.
He just disappeared. I don't know.
Poor kid must have got shot or something while he was jerking off in the bathroom.
He had the cock in one hand, the cigar in the other, and he was beating away.
Fucking kids living life. Holy shit.
Well, see, the funny part is...
Saw a ghost, it's a real fucking little kid. Smoking a bunch of Cubans.
Some 14-year-olds in there smoking Cubans, jerking off to Annie.
No wonder that fucking everybody kept going belly up.
Well, see that the Jeanette lady from Concrete Blonde, she said the same thing though. She said she was in this room and she was in the shower getting ready for a show or whatever.
Did they see her? They see him in the same room?
Yeah, it's the same room.
Oh man,
yeah,
this is all I.
Yeah, and so
this dude's got a secret passage, man, for sure.
He comes out the closet over there. Yeah. He's peeping on the fucking stars.
If you're gonna peep.
All of a sudden, I saw a flash of light.
I mean, think about it. They're like, nobody knows where he came from. This ghost has absolutely no context ever at the hotel. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I don't know how my photos got on the internet. All I saw was a flash and a cowboy, and the next thing you know,
These goddamn ghosts are taking selfies and shit.
he's taking selfies.
Fucking selfie. Fucking Andy Lennox head popping out of the shower. Blowing fucking smoke rings. Oh shit.
Oh, I turned around after soaping my breasts, and next thing you know, there was a cowboy standing behind me taking a selfie.
No, like this is honestly is hilarious because it's bringing up in my mind now. Like, how many times has motherfuckers thought they seen a ghost and it wasn't a goddamn ghost? It was just a real motherfucker. It was just a real motherfucker that shouldn't have been where he was supposed to be. And you're like, that had to be a ghost.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody run that fast.
Right.
I jumped out of the shower.
Shit.
Oh my God. But no, okay, so this Jeanette lady, she's
I was driving down the interstate and I seen a ghost, man, pop right out in front of me. No shit, it was a ghost? Well, goddamn, what the fuck's there a dent in your fucking hood, man? Fucking dent,
well, that's
blood,
right.
and brains all over your car, bro.
Well, that's like all these stories about, you hear about it. I was driving by the cemetery, and I saw this chick in a white dress running across the road.
Yeah.
And then I got out, and she just disappeared. No, maybe she just kept running through the woods.
It's real dark, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't yeah, it was a chicken and white dress.
Maybe it was
Fine,
a chick in
making
a
a
white
good
dress.
decision, bro. She's running away instead of getting married to that piece of shit.
I saw this chick in a white dress running across the road, then I saw this dude, and he was chasing her, and then they just disappeared.
I saw this brown wild animal. It looked like a deer. And then this other one was chasing right behind it.
It had to be a ghost, because as soon as I got out and ran into the graveyard,
Yeah.
I didn't see either of them.
They were gone.
I mean, I heard screaming, but I'm sure nobody killed her. I'm sure it had to be a ghost.
Holy shit.
Sure it was, bud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
But anyways, the Jeanette chick said the same thing. She was in this
Right.
room, and she's in the shower, which is funny because he always waits until they're in the shower. So if he is a ghost, he's the most perverted motherfucker in the world.
Right.
He waits till they're in the shower, soaping up the tits to go steal their clothes. That sounds like, that does sound like a young kid too, because that sounds like a prank you would do while skinny dipping.
Right.
Like, you got the girl skinny dipping, you're going to steal her clothes.
Right.
Hide them somewhere. It probably was some young 15-year-old who knew how to get into the room, and he got in the room and he's like, hell yeah, I got some Andy Lennox and Jeanette pussy now, buddy.
Yeah. Well, he wherever the secret passage into the room is, he gets in there, right? Fucking takes the fucking dress,
Yeah.
puts it over in the bed or wherever, into the closet. Then that way he gets back in the secret passage, has a hole, and he's looking at them naked, walking
Yeah,
walking
walking
in their fucking dress.
Yeah.
This is not a ghost.
No.
This is one fucking smart goddamn teenage kid. Just a smart son of a bitch. It's probably the fucking hotel owner's son or something.
Yeah, he just...
You know what I'm saying?
He's just hiding in the closet.
Little son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I imagine he look up. Did you ever watch?
Put on that dress,
you ever watch
baby.
the Andy Griffith show?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Leon,
Yeah.
the little Leon kid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining right now, dude. He's got the fucking cowboy hat, fucking peanut butter sandwich.
He's in the closet. Put on the dress, baby. That's what you do. Yeah, baby. That's it. Put on the dress for me, Annie. But no, she said she had the same thing happen. She said she put her dress on the bed this time, and she was taking a shower. And then when she got back, the dress was on the other side of the room on a chair, where she said she never saw it. And she said she also smelled smoke, heard giggling. This is the other thing. They always hear giggling, like laughing. So that tells me it's probably, like you said, a real person doing this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably somebody hiding going, yeah.
Even if it is a ghost,
He's a pervert.
Well, But he's obviously playing a prank.
Yeah.
Which would...
Yeah.
But a little girl tumbling to her death down a staircase, hearing giggling, that...
Yeah, and a ball bouncing, and seeing her.
Right.
And seeing her at 2 o'clock in the morning in period dress, so like early 1900s clothing, bouncing the ball, yeah. That's a little different.
Yeah.
But, no, many people have seen the Colonel. He has been seen all through the hotels, wandering the hallways.
Really?
Yeah, they've seen him actually puffing a cigar, or they just see cigar smoke. It's interesting. They'll smell cigar smoke, and they'll see the smoke wafting like in circles through the hallway, but nobody's there. And they've seen this a lot.
That's crazy.
But they've seen the Colonel standing in the main grand part of the hotel. They've seen him in the halls. They've seen him in rooms. And every time somebody sees him, like, he just keeps walking, hitting his big old stogie, and then he disappears. And the Colonel was always known to smoke cigars. Like, they said every time he saw this guy, he had a cigar in his mouth. Just all the time. Just smoking cigars. So, but, yeah,
I mean, if a spirit is literally just something that's existing outside of our spectrum of vision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there. Real as can be.
Right.
You just simply can't see it.
Right.
Then but it would make sense that the smoke would transcend the barrier.
Well, like
because you're not there is no barrier really.
Mm-hmm.
You just simply can't see it.
Right.
Like a cell phone signal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just can't see it. For whatever reason, our vision doesn't allow us to see that light spectrum, but it is there. And so, if that spirit is there, it's there. You just can't see it, but the smoke is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
it's weird. It's kind of crazy to think about.
I have two opinions on spirits. First of all, I think sometimes that maybe because we're electrical and because our bodies are electrical beings, that sometimes we leave impressions on the environment. Because if you think about it, everything absorbs energy. Okay, this light that is on in this room, okay, the light rays are bouncing off the walls going to our eyes are absorbing it, but some of that light is absorbed into the walls. So who's to say part of us isn't absorbed into the walls and you're just seeing a recording of something that happened before? Or, here's another opinion, and I've always thought this was a very interesting thought. If time is not linear, if time's actually kind of folded in on itself, maybe you are actually seeing a time before you were born. Maybe you're seeing parts of that time period, and it's actually happening at the same moment you're there.
Yeah,
so it's not necessarily a ghost.
Yeah.
It's actually happening. He's actually walking down the hall in 1886.
Sure.
And for the moment, those time periods kind of overlap, and you can just see him kind of for a second.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because, none of these ghosts, except for the cowboy in the room, they don't really interact with anybody. They just, they see him doing their thing, and then they're disappearing. They're gone. But it's not like, they're sitting there interacting with people. Other than the cowboy, he steals the superstar's clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, but the woman that shot herself in the bathtub, they've seen her in that room many times. They say if you stay in 525, sometimes there's been guests that said they've been woken up to a gunshot. Sounded like a gunshot going off in that bathroom. And many people have seen her coming out of the bathroom. A guy, I was reading a story of this guy, he was staying there. And he said in the middle of the night, he was woken up by a loud noise. Sounded like a bang. And he said when he woke up, he saw a woman clearly walking out of the bathroom and disappear as she walked out of the room.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, dude, that one's crazy because that would be an awful way to die.
Well, that would be a weird thing to see when you're having a nice little nap. Think about it. You're dead asleep, you hear a gunshot, you're startled awake, and then you see this woman bleeding walking through your room. You'd be like, what the hell's going on here? You know?
And then, well, like in 1408, he sees it shows like ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a woman that fucking climbs on the fucking window, bro, and jumps out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but dude, like, if you get, shot in the stomach isn't instant death.
No, that's a slow way to die.
Yeah, because you're going to bleed out like a motherfucker.
But if she was as drunk as they said she was...
So that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, she wouldn't even, known it.
She probably just passed the fuck out. But still, dude, that's fuck. Yeah, you can see that shit.
Yeah, but why would you... I don't understand why you shoot yourself in the stomach anyways.
I don't either.
I mean, you have a perfectly good head right there. Why not just...
I don't know.
Yeah. Unless she was too drunk to actually, put the gun up to her head, which is possible because, with it at your stomach, you can kind of, lay your arm on your leg and shoot yourself.
Right.
Whereas at your head, you got to have your hand up. So if you're real drunk, it would be kind of hard to put the gun in your mouth and aim correctly and shit like that.
God damn.
Whereas if it's at your stomach, I mean, and either way, it's going to kill you.
Yeah. It's fucking wild.
But to lay there for 3 days and slowly bleed out until the maid finds you, I mean, Jiminy Christmas, dude. That maid must have, she should have asked for overtime pay or something. That's a hell of a cleanup job.
Well, hopefully to God they let her go home early.
I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Walking there in a one that's all decomposed, flies all around. Yeah.
I'm going to need a razor. I don't know how to clean this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys don't have enough fucking chemicals for this.
No, this is bad. You guys got to do something now.
You guys said I was going to have to handle the chainsaw. I was thinking fucking trimming the trees and shit out front. This is goddamn bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, seriously, dude.
I want overtime for this.
Right.
I want overtime pay immediately. This is hazard pay right here, goddammit. I got dead women in the bathtub decomposing. You got 3 days of stink coming in.
Blood.
Yeah.
So just stained on the fucking back.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't coming out.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, well, with scrubbing.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Little elbow grease.
Fucking raise.
Oh, I'm assuming that maid did not clean up that bathroom. I'm assuming she got to go home and they got somebody else to clean it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm assuming they got the coroner in there, got the body out, and then somebody else came in there. But still, you would have to know as you're scrubbing that tub what the fuck went on in there. And the stench from 3 days of a body sitting in a tub with blood just congealing at the bottom. I mean, that would just be sickening. Just horrible. I mean, let's put the ghosts aside. That's just nasty.
3 days too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe they were just more lax back then.
But
I can't imagine. I mean, I understand the do not disturb, but I mean, it's a fucking hotel.
Yeah, you would think that
you're supposed to be. You're not like they're coming to clean that fucking room because it's a fucking hotel. They assume you're going to be out for the day,
right?
Even if you have the room booked for multiple days.
Right.
Although, I guess, I mean, you can tell them, hey, I don't want you in there.
Well, yeah, and if they had the do not disturb out, well, this was in the late 80s, though. So, but if she had the do not disturb on the door and they had her credit card, they probably didn't think about it for a few days because they were just charging her card, and,
yeah, that's true.
And, different maids. You would have different maids coming in at different times. So the one maid says do not disturb and says, okay.
I guess the third day probably does make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're going to give them the first day.
Yeah. The first day they checked in.
The second
day,
day, whatever, and then, the third day, hey, we better go look.
Yeah, we better figure out why, nobody's seen this chick.
Right.
Right, and why she hasn't checked out at all, So, yeah. Yeah, 3 days makes perfect sense. Because, like I said, she checked in the first day. So the first day, she was there. She was getting drunk in the bar. And then if she was getting drunk in the bar, that's the other thing. If they thought she was real drunk, then the second day, if do not disturb on the door, they probably thought she was hungover and didn't want to be bothered. So they probably didn't go in there to even check on her. So by the third day, they're probably like, well, something weird's going on now.
So this Driscoll Hotel, I mean, it's still in operation. It looks
Hyatt owns
it looks
now.
nice as shit.
Yeah, Hyatt owns it now,
So you, oh well, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you can go down
Hyatts
there.
are fucking all, yeah, you can go there and. I mean, what I was looking at said like ghost tours.
Yeah, they do ghost tours, and yeah. But if you want to be real ballsy, go stay in 525 where the woman shot herself. You can sleep right next to the bathroom where she blew her fucking guts out.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's...
Well, see, that's the other thing. If you shoot yourself in the stomach, it's not just blood. I mean, you're blowing feces and God knows what,
everything.
Stomach acid
Everything.
all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ,
All
the
of that.
stench would have been horrid.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd have wanted some type of extra pay for that shit. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, look, not only am I scrubbing blood off this tub, now I gotta scrub shit and blood off this tub that's been sitting here for 3 days, motherfucker.
I know. I wonder how long it took until she was actually dead.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, that depends on where she shot herself in the stomach. I mean, if it was a stomach shot, like through her stomach, it would have took her a long time to die.
Yeah.
Because your stomach, you can live for a while with a bullet in your stomach and bleed out. And it depends on what type of gun she used, too. I mean, if you use a .22, it might bounce around, but it might not kill you immediately. But, I mean, you use a 9mm, it's probably going to blow your backbone out. So
It didn't say what...
no, it didn't say what type of gun she used. It just said she purchased it.
When did this happen?
In the late 80s, early 90s.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so she was a Gen Xer. She was actually me and your age. So, yeah, she was our generation.
Man.
So, yeah, she took his credit card and just decided to go have a heyday with it. And now, my question is, did he have to pay the charges?
Well, of course.
Well, I mean,
Absolutely.
stolen credit card, I don't think he would.
What?
They weren't married yet.
He left her at the altar.
Yeah, but she stole his credit card.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be
I think you could dispute that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, why?
So not
Why
only
would you go on all that spree and just to kill yourself?
Well, she had one going out with the bang.
But
She went out to dinner and had herself a nice
went shopping
meal.
and shit. Like you don't even want to enjoy the shit.
Well, I'm sure she enjoyed whatever. She probably didn't say what she bought. Maybe she just bought candy and food and had herself a nice last meal. And
So, do you think that because of where the hotel was built, that maybe there are like ancestor Indian spirits that
well, I believe there are places
that make things like this happen?
I believe there are places in this world where you could go or build stuff or be at that has bad energies.
Yeah.
Yeah, where there could be angered spirits of whatever type. Because there's clearly spirits that are not of this world. I mean, there's shadow people, there's demons, there's all kinds of evil spirits around. So yeah, you could easily have a place built where, you shouldn't probably build the place. If it's a holy place to the Indians, there was a reason it was a holy place to the Indians. I mean, Indians just didn't willy-nilly say, well, there's a spring out here, we're going to make it a holy place.
Right.
There was a reason why they made it a holy place. There was a reason why they went there, and it wasn't just one tribe of Indians. There was multiple tribes of Indians who considered this spring to be a holy place where you did not desecrate this for whatever reason, where spirits came.
If it was a fresh spring, if it was fresh spring water, that right there makes it holy.
Right. But I mean, there was a lot of fresh springs.
Back in the day when you're living on the land, but all fresh springs would have been holy.
Well, not all of them were. No, they didn't.
They would have all been important, though. Very important.
But they said there was energies here. The ancient Indian legends, and like I said, this is multiple Indian tribes. There's different Indian tribes here, and all of them said that there were spiritual energies at this location where they could contact spirits.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple tribes saying the same thing about a location, and then you go and build a hotel here, it's probably not the greatest idea to build your hotel there.
Well, no. And no.
That's not the location you pick.
The fear that comes to my mind is that is basically what the fucking whole entire country is.
Yeah.
It's is just invaders coming in, barbarically taking over, and then just building fucking civilization however they see fit. I don't think that anybody in their right mind would say that America is in the best of fucking goddamn situations.
Well, that's the history of our whole country.
Societally or civilizationally in this country. It's in a fucking turmoil all the time.
The history of our country is one of raping and pillaging a nation.
Yeah.
I mean, we came over here, we're nice to the Indians, acted like we were their friends. As soon as they turned their back, we stabbed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we founded the country, and in less than 100 years, we had a fucking civil war.
Right. And then you turn around, and every time we told the Indians, hey, we need you to help us with this Revolutionary War. So we enlisted the Indians to help us with the war against the British. We became a country. As soon as George Washington got the country under control of him, he started taking the land from the Indians that were helping him.
Of course.
Well, we need this land. Guess what? You got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. How fucked up is that? First of all, they were already here living on that land. How are you just going to tell somebody that's already there, made a home, have a village, hey, we need this, so you can either go or we'll kill y'all. That's your choice. So
yeah,
you make the choice. I mean,
yeah. Well,
we'll either shoot you or you go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the history of America right there.
Well, it's the history of basically the entire world. People fucking...
Well, in essence, yes.
Yeah. People go in and just fucking take with force what they want.
Well, look at Alexander the Great. That's what he did his whole life.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, they call him Alexander the Great because all he did was go and take over countries that were already inhabited by other people.
And look at, the Inquisition.
Yeah. Yeah, we need this land. We want this land. You have it. We understand you already have it, but we don't care. We're just going to go kill you and all your relatives, and we're going to take it. And if you don't like it, oh well. And that's what I think is funny about all these gun-toting militia guys that we have nowadays who say, well, we got to have the Second Amendment because if the government ever came to take my land, well, the government ever came to take your land, dude, you're dead.
Taking it.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, you and a couple good old boys out there with some fucking M16s are not going to fucking stop the United States government, Bob.
I'm just trying to have this conversation with a gun-toting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have all these fucking guns and blah, 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 and if they ever fuck anybody try...
No.
I'm like, bro... my whole thing to him was, they're coming after your guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, these fucking school shootings and shit.
Yeah, they're going to take your gun.
This shit isn't for fucking nothing.
And if
this shit doesn't randomly fucking happening.
Yeah.
They're coming for your gun.
Right.
Dude. Oh, they ain't going to get mine. I'm like, yeah, they are.
Yeah. If they want them, they'll take them.
Yeah, they are.
And what are you going to do?
You're not going to do anything.
Okay, you got maybe tops 30 guys out there with a bunch of guns. They have hundreds of guys.
Yeah.
With guns way more powerful than yours, first of all.
Right.
Plus they have drones. Plus they have fighter jets.
They can go as far as they need to go, right.
Right.
And as far as they would need to go would be...
If you want to look at it, I can prove to you they'll take it. You know how I can prove it to you? Go look at Waco and see what happened to them guys.
Right.
Yeah, they thought they were going to stand up against the government too. And what happened? They blew them off the fucking map is what happened. They killed every damn one of them.
Yeah.
They said, okay, motherfucker, you want to shoot at us? Sure, there was a standoff for a couple days because at first they were trying to give them a reasonable amount of time to come out and surrender. But when they got tired of it, they said, blow them the fuck up. We're done. What'd they do? They blew them the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Because there is a lot of instances like that in our history where people thought they could stand against the United States government. Oh, we got a bunch of guns. We're going to stand out here. We're going to take on all of them. No, you're not.
Yeah,
you're not taking on the United States Army.
The only chance for an actual revolution would be for the military to be the ones.
Yeah, you would have to
that finally woke up.
You would have to
because they have the best fucking technology.
Yeah, you would have to have somebody convince every general and every soldier in this country to join you
Yes.
instead of doing what they were taught to do.
Yes.
And that's not happening. It's not.
Not anytime soon.
No. And you and a bunch of good old boys ain't revolutionizing
No.
shit. You're going to die.
Yes.
And you're going to die quickly.
Well, you're going to die or you're going to give up your gun.
Right, yeah.
So you make the decision.
Right.
Because I guarantee that, yeah, when you have fucking 14 goddamn police fucking cars, fucking 2 goddamn Humvees and fucking 3 tanks pull up on your goddamn property.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how many fucking Pabst Blue Ribbons and fucking AK fucking 47s you have. You're goddamn gonna die, or you're gonna surrender.
You're damn right.
Period.
I mean, yes,
And,
okay.
and you motherfuckers, that you'll surrender. I guarantee.
Okay, in the 1700s and 1800s, yeah, you had a possibility of starting a revolution then. Okay, because the military wasn't as strong as it is now. They didn't have the technology they do now. And yes, a militia could possibly go against the government. But that ain't happening now.
No. That's
like I said,
that's what the United States was.
Right.
Originally.
Right.
Right? I mean, it was, a bunch of guys that fucking were tired of being under British rule.
Right. And you could pull that off then.
And they almost, they kind of did.
Right.
In a way, but like you said, at what cost?
Right.
At the cost of invading and fucking taking over a people that were perfectly innocent. There was no fucking reason for you to take over their land. There was plenty of room to fucking share. And then, you don't even go 100 fucking years, dude, and your fucking country's already divided. And we haven't been the United States of America since.
Well, the funny thing is that these guys actually think they can stand up to the military. Look, they got missiles that they don't have to be anywhere near you to blow you off the map.
Right.
They can be hundreds of thousands of miles away.
Drones, bro.
Yeah.
They are literally fucking drones that can drop bombs on you, motherfucker.
Well, let's not even talk about drones. They can launch a missile from an Air Force base 100,000 miles away and hit your fucking house.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They can shoot a missile from the United States and hit Russia. Okay?
Visually accuracy.
Yeah. Your house in the middle of wherever you are is not a problem. Okay?
No.
Not a problem at all. One bomb shot from one military base and your problem's over. Your AK is not going to do a damn thing because you know what? You can shoot at that missile all you want. It's going to blow you off the fucking map. Your house just became a crater. And if you shoot at the military, that's exactly what they will do.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will eliminate you, and the only thing that'll be said about you is this crazy fucking motherfucker thought he was going to take on the United States Army.
Yeah, and I mean, it's right.
Unless you have a nuclear weapon.
And my thing is, dude, they're not going to cut, it's not going to happen in a way that it's like in a fucking Armageddon apocalypse type scene.
No.
You're not going to be hunkered down in your fucking fort with all your goddamn
No.
grandpa's fucking gun.
No.
That's not how this is going to fucking work.
No.
If you want to continue to take part in society as society is, then you're going to give up your guns.
Yeah. If they
That's
want
all there
to.
is to it. And if you don't give them up, then they're just going to come into your goddamn house and take them.
Yeah.
And if you still don't want to give them up, then they'll just take you too.
Yeah. Because if you shoot at them, you are now a terrorist.
You
have now declared an act of war. Right.
Like you said, if you make that decision, they won't fuck with you.
No, they'll kill you.
They will fucking, like you said, they will put the coordinates in. They will drop a goddamn missile on your little plot of land.
Right.
And it will be forever a hole.
Yeah, that's all they'll
And
do.
you will be vaporized.
Right. Because you do not have the weapons that the United States government has.
No.
Unless you somehow had a nuclear warhead sitting in your house.
Yeah.
And were willing to sacrifice yourself for what you wanted to do or could threaten the government with a nuclear weapon, you have no choice but to give up whatever the hell they say.
Yeah.
That's why when people say, well, we have rights in this country, no, you have rights because they give them to you.
Yeah, you have liberty.
Yeah, if they
You
wanted
have
to
liberty.
take your rights away tomorrow,
See, that's what people.
you would sit there and have your rights taken tomorrow, and you couldn't do anything about it.
It's something that people miss, man. Like, liberty is way different than freedom.
Yeah,
Liberty is what a sailor gets.
right.
When a ship pulls into port and, you know, the captain tells the soldiers that you have liberty
Right.
to go off the ship, but you gotta fucking be back when they
Yeah,
leave,
yeah, right.
right? You're not free.
No, you're not
You just
free.
have the liberty to go,
Yeah,
but you're gonna fucking come back.
Yeah.
And what sits in the harbor in New York is not the Statue of Freedom.
No, it's the
motherfucker,
Statue of
because
Liberty.
you ain't got freedom.
no, you have liberty.
You aren't free or fucking brave.
Uh-uh.
So you need to stop acting like you are.
Yeah,
You've been given liberty
right,
to live in this country.
right.
And as a U.S. citizen, and citizen doesn't mean that you're somebody fucking from the U.S. That means you are fucking an employee of a foreign corporation called the United States.
Right.
That's what they did. They made up a word for employee and made it citizen.
Well, see, what I've said for years is this country has fallen into a serious problem. See, if you look back in the 1920s and 1930s, and even into the 40s and into the 50s, the people in this country, men and women, at that time period, if somebody had tried to invade this country, they would have had to kill every fucking American alive before they would have been able to take over America, because every one of them would have fought to their last breath to defend this country. Nowadays, you do not have that.
Right.
If another country came over to take us over after a few bombs were dropped and some people died, everybody else would just lay on the ground like a bunch of little bitches and say, well, I don't want to die, guys, so I guess I'm a Russian now. Because this country has changed and people have gotten too soft. Whereas in the 20s and 30s, there was a guy, look, there was a guy today at my job. This is the second day he's worked, okay? He made it yesterday 8 hours. Today he only made it 6 and quit because his feet hurt him too bad. You know how much of a bitch you are, dude?
Right. Yeah.
Your feet hurt you too bad, so you would rather go home and sit on your lazy ass than stand here for 12 hours. You can't make it 12 hours. What kind of sorry ass...
Well, it's almost...
People have gotten lazy.
It's like an as above, so below thing. So, yeah. So, like, I just take where I work at, for example. You have a few people that are still willing to work hard for a living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And what happens is then you have a vast majority of people who play the victim, who all they want to do is bitch and moan about fucking all their problems and all the shit they have to fucking do and blah, 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 and they really don't do shit.
Oh, yeah.
And so what happens is the few people that do work end up having to do the fucking vast majority of the work for the same amount
Oh,
as
yeah.
all these other motherfuckers that just bitch, whine, and complain.
Oh, yeah.
So that's happening on a level at the place of employment. But it's also happening on a grander level
Yeah.
as an entire nation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You've got a few fucking people that, like you said, are willing to go to bat
Yeah.
to fight for this country and fight for what it stands for and stood for and to try to protect it and to do things the right fucking way. But they're out fucking numbered.
Yeah. And they're becoming outdated.
Yeah.
And that as generations go on, it's getting worse and worse.
Absolutely.
But we're going to have to wrap this up now, guys. Hope you enjoyed episode 56. I know we got a little off topic there occasionally, but that's how we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next week, hopefully, I'm not going to say for sure, but hopefully we're going to release The first part of Gary Ridgway, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Mr.
Yeah.
Green River himself, who was a complete and utter insane person. But you know what's funny? For Ridgway to be as low of intelligence as he is, he actually outsmarted the police, his own wives, and the whole town he lived in for over 40 years. And his intelligence level, his IQ was only 80.
Well, he was smart where he needed to be, I guess.
Yeah, what he did, yeah. It actually took Ted Bundy to catch his ass.
Right.
Yeah, they had to enlist Ted Bundy to catch Gary Ridgway, or they would have never, ever found out. In fact, when they caught him, and I'm just going to give you a little preview real quick, his wife and the whole town was shocked beyond belief because they would have never believed this man could have done any of those things.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he'd been doing them for over 40 years. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, he was evil beyond belief.
Yeah. So
But
that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. But we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.
Later.